Well, it's been a topic of discussion for months around here, and now we have an El Nino watch officially in place from the CPC. So what does that mean? Well, it means we're heading for a pretty good chance at getting an El Nino here over the next couple of months. Here's what's going on in the equatorial Pacific here, and this is what we care about. Ocean temperatures. Over the past couple of years, ocean's been below average temperature-wise, and that has meant La Nina. But now those temps are starting to warm up significantly. Now, I know this is a pretty nerdly graph, but this will illustrate the point. We're 1.8 degrees below average in December of 2010. That was a bad La Nina for us, sent most of the storms to the north. It looked like we were going to pull out of it last summer as we started to warm things up, but then we dipped back down. The dreaded double dip La Nina. Now we're starting to move our way out of this. We're actually above average temperature-wise in the equatorial Pacific, and on this current pace, we would hit an El Nino around August of this year. So if we do, that could be very, very good news for a good portion of New Mexico. We've talked about this many times. During a La Nina year, the storm track stays well to the north, so all the storms at best bottom out in Colorado and don't make it to New Mexico. We get a ton of wind and not much in the way of rain or snow. Well, with an El Nino pattern in general, we tend to see more storms head through the southwest. Now, certain portions of the state do better than others, especially across the southern tier of the state. We tend to do very well over the Sacramento Mountains in La Nina, or rather El Nino years, not during La Nina years. Unfortunately, La Nina years is pretty bad, but we do see a better situation across the southern tier of the state. Here in central sections, we tend to do pretty well as well when we end up with an El Nino, where we tend to see above average precip as well. And over the northern mountains, there's not quite as much correlation here, but we do usually do okay in these situations as well. And of course, this would be a welcome change across most of the state. Ian Schwartz examines that.
Even though what happens in the equatorial Pacific is thousands of miles away, El Nino and La Nina patterns have profound impacts on our weather here in New Mexico.
There is drought, but it's not as bad. We've improved a little bit.
National Weather Service meteorologist in charge Sean Bennett is talking about what La Nina has been doing for the past couple of years. La Nina has kept us very dry during the winter, spring, and summer months.
We're as dry as it ever gets here.
Those persistent bone-dry conditions help fires spread easily. Last year, forest fires ravaged the state, with the Las Conchas burning up dozens of homes. And this year, with continued dry conditions, the Whitewater Baldy fire in the Gila eclipsed all fires in the state's history, totaling more than 260,000 acres. With a pattern shifting toward El Nino, we could see the shot for more storms in the year ahead.
An El Nino pattern can bring welcome rains to the valleys during the summer, but it can also bring much-needed snow to the mountains during the winter.
That snow is great news for skiers and snowboarders, but it also is very important for snowpack. During the winter, the El Nino pattern will favor the southern part of the state for snow. That snowpack provides future water for us to drink and use for agriculture. Ian Schwartz, KRQE News 13.